Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Tunic. It's time to go through the Cathedral and everything it has in store for us. So, we'll be getting to that big fight someone mentioned earlier. But first, Zambies.
Dammies.
I do like the little, transition that they have going on here to make it feel like a Zelda dungeon. Where, when you go to a new room, it does, a little slide, even though it is pretty clearly, all one continuous area. So,
Yeah.
but I think that that's cool for, trying to replicate the specific, feeling that going into a new
these
dungeon.
things.
Oh, that's not good.
These things reduce your HP.
Yes, they do.
Oh, yeah, because there's magic purple goop there.
More like they're zombies reanimated by the purple goop, so any attacks they do to you, lower your health again. So I panicked and ran back.
I guess it
That
makes
was
sense
nearby,
given
so-
that they're all pretty slow. So, it seems like they're pretty easy to avoid the attacks. It's more just that if you do get hit, it's very punishing.
Yeah.
They can chase you from other rooms in the dungeon? That's cheating! You can't do that. Everyone knows that if you're in a Zelda dungeon, you are literally incapable of leaving the four walls that you are in.
Doors? What are those?
Ouch.
Ooh.
Oh my god, yeah, that stuff is eye-meltingly bright. Jeez.
I died.
Ow.
Oops.
You know what they say, you're your own worst enemy.
It's true.
No. Ryan knows better than to run past them.
Swing and a miss. Break you guys just for the fun of it.
Wow, that
Just
guy
'cause
did
they're
nothing
there.
to you.
He could potentially do something to me, so I better do it anyway.
Okay. Ooh. My eyes.
Yeah, it's a bit much.
It actually is hurting my eyes just looking at it on this monitor.
Yeah, this guy's randomly faster for some reason.
Yeah, this one actually tries.
I just
It
find it
does
funny it was
more
flawless
attacks
until
and
that one
rollies.
guy and then you die instantly. Oh, man.
I mean, I guess it doesn't help that the rest of these rooms are relatively dark, so every time you enter the next room, it's like flashbang.
Oh,
You
yeah.
see, the thing, though, is that I'm typically a light mode user. It doesn't bother me usually too much. Because a lot of people are like, how can you do light mode? My eyes, and
I
I'm like...
generally don't care either.
But
It's just that there's a lot of contrast in the room.
yeah, but this is oh my god. I need
Well,
sunglasses.
Light mode and dark mode, and I say this as someone who's sensitive to light, so I actually do prefer dark mode most times. But light mode and dark mode are meant to, the reason you have the ability to switch is so that you can switch when your surrounding environment is brighter or darker. Light mode is better for bright environments. Dark mode is better for dark environments, So...
Yeah, it's just there are people who would believe that no, options don't exist because you're meant to change them when the option suits you. You're supposed
People
to...
are weirdly aggressive about
stuff like
about
that. Yeah,
light
I know.
mode.
It's almost like the internet has a
They're
built-in...
weirdly aggressive.
The internet has a built-in, tribalistic mindset where you have to pick a side
A little bit.
on inane issues. This has gone back. This is not a new thing, for the record. It's just the stuff that's different. If you were back in the mid-2000s, you had to pick pirates or ninjas and then murder anybody who preferred the other
Oh,
thing.
that's true. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, you're right.
Huh.
That's a great analogy, actually, because that brought me back to my childhood.
Yeah, it's just how dare you think that both things are cool? How dare you? You had to pick a side. Otherwise, you couldn't just be like, hey, do you have Pokemon Blue version? No, I have Pokemon Red version. Oh, cool. Can I trade for your Vulpix? No, you had to be like, I will murder you now. Also, Red version is better. Don't at me. What? No, I didn't say nothing.
The only time that I will accept the version debate as something like to even think about is actually Scarlet and Violet, because goddamn, Scarlet's school uniforms are just ugly.
I didn't even know that the uniforms changed.
The entire school fucking changes. It's
and then I was looking up footage for something, and I was just like, oh, what? Ugh. I mean, I don't like the way the school looks normally, but it was just like, oh, well, I guess I'm grateful for what I
spent like no time in that school. I didn't do anything in there.
No, I went to classes, and they were dumb and bad.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, it felt like they were trying to do almost like a Fire Emblem thing, but school.
Oh yeah, like the Three Houses stuff. Yeah, I can see that. It just, there wasn't really any charm to anything you did there, so I just kind of...
There were some interesting lore books to read in the library, and some of the classes were fun. I liked...
I did like the professors.
Yeah.
I did like getting to know the professors better, to be fair.
The professors were fun characters, yeah. In fact, it was actually a nice treat at the end of the game when you actually got to finally fight them.
Yeah.
Some of the writing just seemed weird. Like, there was the chef dude, who was just like, it's like, hey, what do you want for lunch? And he's just like, oh, I'll have a peanut butter sandwich. And he's like, no, you can't eat that. The chef would never eat a peanut butter sandwich. And I'm like, who gives a crap? Let the dude eat what he wants.
Hey, that just sounds like what we were just talking about people being like, you can't do that. You can't like that.
Yeah.
How dare you even suggest?
I like how as you progress, you start fighting, the players who are obviously bad at the game, and then the players who know how to dodge roll spam to avoid everything. It's like, oh my god, is this what I've been doing to the enemies all game?
Yes.
Yeah, just wait till you get to the to the speedrun section of the Cathedral.
Okay, we got one down. Stop dodge rolling, you asshole.
I think the thing about it is there
brutal.
doesn't seem to be a visual difference between them, from what I can
there
tell.
is.
They just start out sleeping, and they're still until you approach.
Oh, okay.
Whereas the other ones kind of like automatically start walking toward you.
Okay.
So they posture differently.
Okay, I'll have to take a look next time we see them too.
It's symbolic.
Is it?
Oh yeah, that's just a crucifix. Yeah, that's definitely a crucifix.
I don't know. It looks more like a Y.
MCA.
Listen, if you have somebody hanging off of anything in the T-pose position like that, it's probably symbolic of something.
Hey, remember when this was just a cute fox game? I say as the skulls start coming up from the floor.
Yo, man, the lore YouTube video creators are eating good here. They'll have stuff for weeks, months even.
It actually does have a lot.
Also, he's gone.
It actually does have a lot of that kind of story in it, where, it's fun to think about on your own, but a lot of people aren't going to do that. So it's also fun to make videos explaining it to those people.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Hollow Knight, because Hollow Knight had kind of the same thing-ish. Obviously not to the extent of, like, you can't read anything in the game, but a lot of Hollow Knight's lore is hidden behind various areas, and you probably won't pick up on it unless you really do a deep dive.
Yeah, like, I never, when I was playing Hollow Knight, I never, like, made the connection that the tree lady you find underground someplace is supposed to be the player's, like, mother. I never made that.
Oh!
Yeah, I never made that connection myself.
I don't think I made that connection either.
So she's supposed to be the wife of the Pale King, is what the implication is supposed to be.
Huh.
Yeah, and I forget what she says, because it's been a while since I've gotten that far in Hollow Knight. But yeah, There was also other things too that I didn't know. Like, for example, I thought that you were just supposed to kill the bladesmith once you got your sword to max level. I thought that was like just what you were supposed to do, so I did it. And then I didn't know that if you leave him alive, he hangs out with the painter dude on the other side of the map. And it was like, oh, that's adorable.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I also killed him.
Ryan, I have to ask a question
felt
because
bad.
you keep doing this. Is there a reason you don't just grab your ghost right away when it's right there?
Because it stuns the enemy slightly when you pick it up.
Oh. Now, see, I did not notice that.
Yeah, so I use it as a temporary stun to use when I need to. So this is the big fight, by the way. This is the gauntlet where you have to clear every challenge. So off you go to fight some really strong enemies. I recommend doing the center one first because it's these two big guys. The rest are significantly easier after that.
Oh. I like how you got one of them stun locked in the corner there.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This is actually interesting. This is cooler to me than just like another boss fight. Can you like make it so you fight more than one of them at a time? I don't know if you would. No? Okay, so you have to do them on it. Still though, like I think this is a really neat kind of like challenge to go through.
And one of them is a health refill, so
Okay.
I don't really need it right now, so I'm not doing it just yet.
But anyway, yeah, we should do Hollow Knight eventually. The only problem is that playthrough would be probably like 40 parts long, I would imagine.
Oh, Hollow Knight is a big game.
Yeah. I also don't know if I could like do it if I wanted to show like the last DLC stuff that they did, like the boss rush stuff. I don't know if I could beat it.
I wouldn't even do that for fun.
Listen, some people are like,
that's
"Oh
such
yeah,
a grind.
I can just beat the hard mode of the final boss plus every boss before that. No hits, easy." And I'm like, "Damn, how do you people do that stuff?"
Yeah, I mean, respect. I respect it, but man, that's
because Hollow Knight's
that's
not
rough.
an easy game. Like you're like you get hit, like you're expected. The way that the game is designed, every attack pattern is dodgeable. It's not like the game is very deliberate about being fair with its enemy patterns, but you're expected to
That's
get
what makes
hit,
it so
which
good.
is why you technically have unlimited healing. As long as you can keep hitting enemies, you can keep healing. So, it's a Tonberry!
I mean, kinda. It's the frog enemies we faced before, but yes.
Oh, I think I called them Tonberries then, too.
Yeah, they kind of have a Tonberry kind of look to them.
Yeah, they kind of do.
Yeah, but they know how to walk faster than 2 miles an hour, so they clearly can't be Tonberries.
Man, dealing with the Tonberry King in Final Fantasy VIII was the most tedious shit.
What made him different than a normal Tonberry?
Well, for one thing, you had to kill, like, a ridiculous amount of normal Tonberries to get him to appear. And Tonberries themselves are very, very tanky, so it takes a while. Also, like, just knowing that the Tonberry King is there is itself kind of a, like, how do you do this?
Is there a similar thing for the Cactar with the mustache? Like, do you have to beat enough Cactars to make him show up?
I think he actually appears on the world map.
Oh, okay, so he's just a normal fight. All right.
Jumbo Cactuar was interesting. Just kind of random, really. A giant fucking Cactuar with a mustache. But the Tonberry King shows up specifically to avenge the Tonberries that you took down. The thing is, you have to go back into the area where you already fought Odin to start, fighting Tonberries. And the thing is, like, how do you know to do that? The only incentive you have to go back and explore is that, now that the time limit isn't there, maybe there's something else. Possibly. But you won't know to kill, like, so many of these really tanky and annoying enemies. You might even... You might even have encounter none on by that point.
The 90s was really the last time where we saw super obscure secrets like that being common. Like, it's nowhere near as common now for stuff like that to exist. Or at least stuff like that, especially if a game like has a bestiary. Because they know that the player wants to complete all of that. And I found that, generally speaking, devs nowadays want their players to see all their content. So they'll, like...
I would say the one exception to that, oddly, is Pokemon of all things, because evolutions are just so convoluted nowadays.
Don't get me started.
Inkay comes to mind.
Listen,
Yeah.
I...
Get 49 units worth of damage down and then run under this platform in the middle of the wild area, and then your Galarian Yamask will evolve. And it's like, what?
Oh, that's
Literally...
Huh. It has gotten worse, huh?
Okay, so your Pokemon has to be out on the field and, like, beat up wild Pokemon, but you can't, like, fight with it. You have to, like, do the overworld, like, hit wild Pokemon. Yeah, no, that's something I'm not a fan of in... Well, really in any Pokemon game. Like, I think that in Gen 1, like, the stones are a little cryptic, but at least there's only a few of them. So... it's more feasible to just be able to, like, oh, I have a Poliwhirl. It's not evolving, even though I've gotten it to, like, level 70. Let me check a Waterstone, you know?
I mean, back in Gen 1, we were also talking to each other in person at school about the games, so if one person knew it, we all knew it.
Or if one person
That's
bought
true.
the strategy guide, we all knew. That's fair, but I also think, like, again, like, oh... Again, if you didn't buy the strategy guide, how are you supposed to figure out that to get Steelix, you had to get an Onyx, give it a metal coat, and then trade it to someone else? Like, I
mean, I think that was kind of the point back in the day. That was why you bought strategy guides, because we didn't have the online strategy guides that we do now. So it's like, that was just another way to get revenue also.
Yeah, it's just not a good way to make a game, though, in my opinion.
I mean, I agree 100%.
And it's just, the thing about Pokemon, like Ryan said, is this just, they never stopped. It's like, okay, it's like, I get that you want the games to connect, and it's just like, oh, why couldn't Lickitung evolve into Licky Licky before? It's like, well, it evolves when it learns this specific move and levels up, and it's like, okay, I mean, that's fine, but it would just be better if it just evolved at level 30, whatever, you know? Like,
yeah.
Why make it? Why make us have to turn our 3DS upside down to evolve Inkay?
That'll always blow my mind.
I still don't know how you evolve them in modern games.
You hold your Switch upside down and you hold your phone upside down.
Is that really how it works?
Yes.
Yeah, they both have gyro.
Oh my god. Video games are so stupid. Oh.
Rip console mode players.
Well,
Yeah, pretty much.
well, at the very least, the Joy-Con and Pro Controller do have gyro, so I think if you just hold the controller upside down, it should work. I would hope. I would hope it works.
I am not sure. Someone in the comments will answer. Hopefully that they reach the end of the part, because it's the end of the part. We'll see you all in the finale for Tunic. See you guys all then. Bye.